we're now going to move on to what the front of house selling experience will look like for you or your staff on counter. So in this case, we'll navigate to the point of sale app, and you'll see that all of the products that I've created are now showing on the point of sale app. So this happens in real time. So as soon as you create the products on your catalog or make any changes, those updates and changes are made in real time, appear on counter, and are accessible for your staff. So really great in terms of making sure that things are really updated, errors can be corrected, and that things just happen really quickly. So this is the primary selling interface that you will use or your staff will use. So you've got a few different ways that you can kind of navigate this view. You've got the grid view, which you'll see here. So you'll see the products with either icons or images or text that you use to create them. You've got a list view, which lists all your products. So just really personal preference in terms of how you'd like to navigate. And then the different categories. So you'll remember that we assigned cappuccino to hot drinks. And that's just a really nice and easy way to quickly navigate your catalog, especially if you have a relatively big catalog, because you really want to be able to find products, add products to your cart really quickly. Speed is obviously really important here, and these are the things that help you do that. Great. So now that you've got your first few products, you've got your first customer waiting for you at the counter, and now's the time to make some sales. So I'll walk you through the process. So our first customer orders a cappuccino. So we'll change back to the grid view, and we'll add a cappuccino. And just like that, it's added to the cart. In this case, it was a simple product, so without any options or modifiers or variants. If I want to add more than one, I will just continue to tap, and you'll see that the product will be incremented. If that's all that they've ordered, we'll then go into the charge flow. So we'll hit the charge button, and you'll see that there are a variety of payment methods or options to use. The three that you see at the top are essentially Yoco payment methods. So these are the payment methods you would use most commonly. So things like card, payment link if they don't have their card on them, or even vouchers if you have enabled vouchers. If you're accepting cash as a business, or you have other payment methods outside of Yoco that you use, you can also use the record payments methods below to record those payments, so that all sales, regardless of whether they are through the card machine or other Yoco methods, can be recorded from here. So all of your data and insights sit in one place. In this case, we'll just record a cash payment. They've given us 520 on the dot. We'll click pay, and the payment will be recorded. So really nice and easy and really quick. So that's as simple as it gets from a simple product and selling perspective. Now we'll see what it looks like when you've customized your products or configured them in a slightly more advanced way. So we'll start with our flat white. And you'll remember that we had 3 different sizes, small, medium, large. So, and with different prices. So in this case, they've ordered a medium. And we'll see that the medium was, we selected the price as 80 Rand. We'll click add to order. Exact same process. The only difference is that when there are options or modifiers, those will need to be selected before you can finalize the order. The same applies to a product with modifiers. So in this case, remember we set up the matcha latte. So we chose 2 modifier groups. In this case, we will prepare this with oat milk, and it's a takeaway. Once we've done that, we'll click add to order, and you'll see that the modifier notes that we've selected show up there, so that the kitchen or the barista or the person that's preparing this order knows exactly how to prepare it. And that's really what the selling experience looks like when adding products from simple through to slightly more complex with variants and modifiers. If we want to continue to add to this order. So for in the instance of sit-down restaurants, or where you are running tabs or bills for customers, you can use the saved order feature to save this order and then come back to it at a later stage. So we've got the save button in the order screen, which we'll hit. We'll give this a name. So in this case, we'll call it table 1, and we'll hit save order. That order will then be saved, and you can come back to it at a later stage to add to it or to charge for it when they're ready to pay. So to do that, you simply click on the saved orders button. You'll see that the save order will show up here. Click on it, and it will populate in my cart. You can then add more items to that, or you can proceed to the charge flow. So it's a really nice tool to cater for a number of different use cases, depending on what your needs are.